Everybody, welcome back. It's a very, very hot week. Well, it's been a hot week. It's been like the 90s is what they say online. It's like foggy on here just because it's so humid outside. But they said it was 90 for the past, few days before now, and it felt like over 100. I mean, it was terrible. And that's why I'm out here almost at dark, because even like early in the morning it's hot. So I can't stand the heat. But today we're doing a tour of my garden, and I haven't done a tour. It's really fogging up. I'll wipe it off once I start filming some more. But we're in my garden, and years before now I'd always fail at gardens, but this year it may not look like much to a lot of you guys that garden, but I've had like a pretty good year with my garden. So holy cow, look how foggy. But yeah, I'm just gonna take you on a tour. Don't get me wrong, it does not look good, but I've already pulled quite a bit of vegetables out of here. So I'm gonna take you on a tour, trying to keep it a little short. And yeah, so the first part I will show here in a minute. It's pretty rough, and then it kind of gets a little bit better as we go back. So first we're gonna start. I have a bin of seeds that I started about a week ago for broccoli, red cabbage, and spinach. And then I have a bin of radishes. So I'm gonna show you guys them now. I'm sorry the camera lens keeps fogging up like that, but it's just been so miserable outside. Even now towards sunset, it's bad. So there is the bin of radishes right there. Last year I had some and they were way too hot. There's just some seeds that are started in there. And here is where I separate the seeds into the bin. There is a single pot of, there's just one thing of kale in there. Can't remember what kind. I think it said Russian or something, I can't remember. Over here, oh my gosh guys. It's really fogging up. But there's my pit of sunflowers. I just kind of threw them in the ground. They look nice now. They didn't look okay before, but now they're, there's some yellow in there at least. But yeah, I like them. And there's some corn in there, and that did not grow well because it's all smothered in. Here is a huge cluster of tomatoes. Excuse my fingers. Huge cluster of tomatoes. I mean, there's at least 25 tomatoes on there. So that's been growing a lot. I've already picked a lot off of it, but it was a patio tomato that was starting to die. Here is a fertilizer bag. Hold up. There's a fertilizer bag, and I just kind of threw some kale in there, and it's growing out of the fertilizer bag. I did it with several other plants, and they turned out well, so cool technique. Here is my butterfly bush, which I did originally put in the ground, and it cost me like 30 bucks for this. I stuck it in the ground right under where the bag is that it's in, and it got so waterlogged that there was 2 leaves left on it, and I've slowly brought it back to life. I put it in this bag and, maintain the water and whatnot, but you can see there's some flowers on there. Down here I've had 2 marigolds potted in, and they've been here all season, and I haven't had to water them, so that's pretty cool. There's a sedum that I just bought. I gotta plant that. There's a sucker tomato there that kind of got a little dry out in a pot, so I just stuck it in here. And in here we have some habaneros. They are down inside there. You can see them in there. It's full of habaneros. Now this plant was almost dead. It was almost dead, and I saved it. I stuck it in that pot because I had potatoes in there, which turned out nice, as well as that pot. I had potatoes in that one too. So I don't know why I'm carrying the tripod. Let me take you guys off the tripod. I keep wiping the camera off, but this just keeps getting filtered up like that. I just put these carrots in here, and some of them are starting to take on again, but some of them at the same time are having a hard time getting some strength. I mean, there was barely any carrot. It was just mainly that root. So Once again, there was potatoes in here, and I had some good ones out of it. First time trying them in bins. Here's my chives, and yeah, just like chives like doing, they've quadrupled in size since I bought them this spring. And now that we're moving on to this part of the garden, to this part, I have this tarping that I put down. So pretty much I put tarping, and I got these landscape nails, or like horseshoe nails, and it holds it down. And I did a row here, and I did a row here of that tarping. And then I just would cut holes in and put the plant into the holes and just kind of go like that. And as you'll see now, I added some straw on top. And anytime I clip a plant or there's something that needs, you know, decomposed, I just throw it under the plants and it turns into fertilizer. Alright, so here is my basil. Nice sturdy basil plant. I've already cut a ton off of it. And right here is my eggplant. If you look on top, it is covered in flea beetles and other beetles, but I've got an eggplant under it, and there's 2 more here, eggplants. I've never had luck with eggplant, and this year, just the fact that I've had a fruit means that I actually was able to grow them for once. Back here is my lettuce. It's already bolted multiple times, and I just kind of keep throwing stalks to the chickens. But I did have salads beforehand, early in the year. We're going to do both sides as we work down. Here's my lavender, and it turned out well. I've already picked some flowers off of it, and it was a rough start with it. It didn't grow barely any, but now it's starting to take off. Here are my cayenne peppers, and I've picked a ton off and dried them. Another one over here, but it's gotten sturdy since. Here's a type of beefsteak. I can't remember what kind, but I have it on this tomato cage. I got it for $1 at a yard sale, and I put it in. I bought another one too, which I'll show you in a minute. That's doing pretty good. Here's a cool part that I've never had luck with, but this year I have. These are my peppers. So as you can see, they have that straw under them, which has helped a lot. And this is a bell pepper. And there was one on that, but it was just picked off for dinner one night. You can see there's one there. But they're starting to get real bushy now since I've picked them off. Here's my jalapeno. And we have picked 10 off of it just the other day. So now it's starting to fill back in with jalapenos. Very, very sturdy plants though. That is, I believe, a bell pepper as well, right there. Now, here's where we start getting into the banana peppers. Banana peppers. Banana peppers. Look at all the banana peppers. And I just picked a ton off of there. And look, these are all banana up to here. So they are just covered in banana peppers. And as soon as I pick them, they're back. I mean, it's crazy. This is held down by, what, 3? More on that side. But there's all kinds. All kinds. And here, I can't remember what kind these were. But it's like a roasting pepper. We've already done a few. You kind of just roast them. Put them in a pan. So there's peppers under there. And now we get to my sausage tomato plants, which are very tall. That's right above my stomach right there, right about my chest level. And I've actually come in and staked these in with some post. But look at all of these tomatoes. They're just absolutely loaded. I mean, absolutely loaded. Look, that must have happened today. Right here. Because I was out here earlier. There's just so much. So much foliage. But more importantly, look how big those are once they're on there. Now that's what we're going to use to make sauces. Look at this. They're just loaded. I notice with these, the top keeps growing. bottom dies as it goes, and it just keeps dropping tomatoes as it goes. I mean, they're just all over. Look on this one. Absolutely covered. And I've already picked about 100 off of these plants. But the next harvest will be the time that I can stuff. And they just kind of go through here. I got a lot of them. So they end right about there. And right here is my other patch of beefsteak. I'm pretty sure these are just, you know, like just called straight beefsteak, these ones. There's some more there. And ever since I put this straw down, it's really helped, because I think the black tarping on its own would kind of burn the underside of the plants. So next year I should have a better jump start. Also, I'd like to say I started my garden about a month after you're supposed to plant it. So, yep, there's my row of tomatoes. And like I said, goes down to my peppers. So, right here is a zucchini that I separated from another one. And don't get me started on zucchini. I've probably picked at least 60 zucchini this year off of all my plants. And look, there's 3 there, just kind of chilling. They're starting to come on. This is another one of those heirloom ones, and this one's not doing good now. It went very, very strong for about a month and a half. You know, just tomatoes, but now it's starting to get a little uneasy. Here is my, I think it's sun sugar. Yeah, I think it's sun sugar. They're my little sweet, like cherry tomatoes. And I have pulled so many off of here. Just all season this has been putting on fruit. I mean, all season. Pretty sure that's dahlia, right? I just bought it, but I didn't even look at the name. I think it's dahlia. Might be wrong. But the bees love it. There is a type of mint. I just planted these 3 yesterday. So I did the mint, the dahlia, I think, and the Russian sage. Because I had one right there and it died. So I just bought another one. And here, I'm not even going to name it just because I forgot. It has a name tag right here, actually. I want to say, like, Veronica? Yeah, Veronica. So that's Veronica. The bees love it just like everything else. So I brought these flowers in just to bring the bees over to this area a little bit more. And here, this just recently took off not long ago. But my pumpkins are just taking off through here, and I'll show you in a second here, because I'm going to walk down and show you the other part. But look at all these pumpkins. You can't really see them. There's one there, but over here in this corner is where I planted them. See, there's a pumpkin there. And over in that corner, there's watermelon that just started taking off. So that's kind of under the pumpkins. But there's pumpkins all through here. So that's my watermelon and pumpkin patch. And if you guys want another update, let me know. Hopefully it'll be a little cooler so I can come in the daytime. But it's been terrible. And here you can see there's powdery mildew all over. I keep trimming, but it's just getting out of hand. These are my zucchini. And if you guys want to see me prune these, it's pretty fun, but a lot of people don't like it because I really prune them. But as you can see, it's already bushed back out. Here is my, what is it? Summer squash? No. Winter squash. What is it called? I know exactly what it's called, but I can't remember which one. I mean, I probably knew earlier. Oh, that's the butternut. That's the butternut. Just now remembered. So there's one hanging there. And there's a cucumber down there. I have probably pulled off of these 2 plants, because there's cucumber mixed in with the butternut. I've probably pulled at least 60 cucumbers off of this. I mean, it's insane. So I usually have good luck with cucumbers and zucchini, but this year was definitely, you know, really good. So I know that was a little fast for what I normally film, but I still want to show you guys my pumpkin patch, which that was just an extra pumpkin that I put in, so these are pretty much extra for this year. But yeah, I'll see you guys down there at the pumpkin patch. It is right down there. You can see all the leaves down there. Alright, I'll see you guys down there. Okay guys, so lo and behold, here is my pumpkin patch this year. It's our pumpkin patch. I always say mine because half of it's what I kind of put in and the rest is what each year whenever we are done with our pumpkins or gourds, we throw them right in this pit. So next year we'll have more pumpkins from them, and then I'll come in and I'll hand seed, you know, certain gourds or pumpkins. But this vine just decided to blow through here, and it's going into the yard now. See, there's the main patches on the other side, but all of these leaves here are just going through. So there's some peat moss and straw I threw down. I'm trying to make this whole thing a patch so I can grow other things too, because these pumpkins and gourds, they just take over everything, and that's why you want it separate. But yeah, this is loaded. Like, there's no way I'll be able to show you all these pumpkins. There's one there that's about the size of my hand. Here's one just kind of hanging up, but the big ones are all inside of there. Now what this is pretty much, we had one at my old house too. Whenever we throw our chicken straw out of the chicken shed, and you know, all the crap's in it and it's just kind of been breaking down from them walking on it, we throw that here. And like I said, whenever we're done with pumpkins, we throw them in here, we throw the seeds in here. So this is just like a natural, just compost pit, but the composting gets eaten up each year by the squash. All of it breaks down here. We keep throwing stuff over, you know, the winter in here and whatnot. And then the next year, they just start again. So there's a nice pumpkin. It's already half orange. They're warty pumpkins from what a lot of them I've seen are. And they just go all the way around the side here. See, the center's starting to die out, but this is where, you know, the main roots are. So a lot of the pumpkins, they're kind of going into the grass and sitting, which is good. Because here, this looked a lot more lively, but it's actually better at this point because the pumpkins are going to be hidden. Here's my lone stalk of popcorn. So this is a, you know, when you make popcorn, like the whole ear, this is that kind. So it's got a small ear on it right now, as you can see. But I'm glad it's growing. I put probably 10 seeds in here and that's all I got, so. But let's just take a little peek in here. Look at that pumpkin. Look at that. Because I'm just a touch worried. Well, actually, I'm not as worried now, because we plan on these, you know, carving them on Halloween. And it's, what? Just the end of August right now. Very end of August. And they're already all orange. And yes, you can store them a while after they're cut if you leave the vine on. But I don't know about that long. But the good thing is that that pumpkin in my garden just took off. And as you guys seen, the pumpkins are very small and green. So I'm hoping that plant will kind of ease into around Halloween. But as you can see, this vine, what it does, it starts out of the main pit, which is here, which is all of our straw and whatnot. The vines crawl across these grasses and just keep going. You see, it's all the way down there, right? They get on top of the grass, and then they set all those pumpkins or gourds, and it just pulls the vine down to the ground. All these leaves block out the grass, and it just keeps making more of a compost pit over time. Because they'll pull the grass down, and then I'll throw the next straw where they pulled it down that year, so it's just getting bigger and bigger. But there's so many pumpkins in here. There's one down in there you can't even see. It's down in that little crack. But I kid you not, I've gone through here about a week ago, and I've seen at least 15 pumpkins through here. And there's a gourd plant that's up at the house, which I could show you guys, but alright, so that's the pumpkin patch. I like talking a lot, but as you see, when I try to make a video shorter, I just talk faster, so I don't know if it's even better. But there's the pumpkin patch. Alright, so I want to show you guys one last thing, which is what I've got going on at the house. I mean, I've got a whole basket of banana peppers just sitting up there that I just picked so I'm gonna pickle them all. And we got some mini white gourds, those little tiny white gourds. So yeah, pretty good this year. Since I've taken more time on my garden, it's been a lot better. So I want to just show you guys some of the stuff that's in the house now, like the basket of zucchini, or the entire thing of banana peppers I just picked, besides what I've shown you in my garden. But yeah, so that's kind of a garden update. I'll show you that once again once I'm in the house. But for the pumpkin patch in my garden, that should be about it. So let me know if you guys want to see more garden updates. I want to give a quick thanks to all of my Patreon supporters. Everybody on the board right now is currently active, and I do appreciate everyone that's been a Patreon in the past. But yeah, I try to keep it updated as much as possible. And if you want to be a Patreon, the link is down below.